Hey there, it's Kathy Howes with Be Creative with Kathy. I'm trying to make sure I'm all set and good to go live here on Facebook. I think I am. I haven't done a video since before Christmas, and I can't believe how once you don't do videos, it's like, okay, how do I do this again? But maybe it's just me because I'm old. But good morning, happy Monday. I have a really cute card for you today. We're going to use some new products out of the new mini catalog that has just gone live. We're going to use, I'm going to show you in the catalog here if I can find the, this, nope, this one right here. This beautiful Country Floral Lane suite. Really, we're going to use this bundle here and both of the designer series papers that coordinate with it. Love this bundle, thought it would be fun to play with. And in fact, this is the third card of my stamp club. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I do stamp club, we do something like this. I mail a packet like this in the mail, and together we make 2 cards. In fact, at Stamp Club this month and February, we use the same bundle for 2 months, but we're going to use the Cheerful Basket Bundle, which is the little kitty with the baskets and the dies that coordinate like this. So I send a packet that looks like this, and then I always send a third card that's already made using either some sneak peek products or another way to use that bundle. And like that, this time I'm gonna play with this suite here. So if you're interested in club, let me show you the cards while I'm chalking here. The cards look like this. If you're interested in card club, like I said, I send you 2 card kits, so we make these 2 cards together using that bundle. I cased this one from Kristen Hayes, and here we're gonna stamp on some glimmer paper. Can you see the glimmer on those hearts? And in here, I cased this from Vitran. Oops, sorry, Vi. Anyway, and it's a little pop-up box like that. But that's the cards we're gonna make at Club. We meet every month on Zoom, and if you can't make the Zoom meeting, then I have a video and you can make the cards at your own leisure. And I have a supply list out there for January. If you're interested, you just have to place a $35 at my online store using the host code for Stamp Club, which is good for 30 days, but it's different than the regular host code. That way I know you want the kit. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and make the card. So I showed you the card really quick, I think. It looks like this. I also made one like this. This is that designer series paper that's in that bundle. And what I like about this designer series paper is there's 48 sheets. It's 6 by 6. There's only 6 patterns, so you get 8 sheets of the same pattern. Let's get rid of this piece here and I'll show you what the back looks like. Well, I'll get rid of both of them. Looks like this. Now I must have already used all of this pattern up here, so you can't see that one. But it's just a very subtle, pretty paper that we're gonna use. In fact, let's take one. I think I'm gonna make a card like this, and I'm gonna take out a pattern of that color. There we go. Okay. And then we're also going to use, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and show you, this designer series paper is part of that suite too. And one of the patterns, this one in fact here, although there's several really pretty, let's see if I can flip through this one real quick to show you. The back is kind of a subtle pattern like this, and then the front is more vibrant and flowery, but there's that pattern there, and there's the bikes there, and just stuff like that. With that pattern, you can see it all in the catalog. But I'm going to take and use the punch that's part of that bundle, and I'm going to punch out a set of these hearts here. And now I was counting on one sheet of designer series paper, you can get 16 of these little sets of hearts on there. But then when I looked again, because I didn't count this one because it's missing a leaf over here, but actually you could use this leaf with this flower, you know, stuff like that. So you might even be able to get more out of there than what I counted. I don't know. I'm gonna set these aside since I have them all punched and ready. I just don't want to lose them. Knowing me, I will. What else we need, and I might as well go ahead and do it since I have the punch right now. I have a scrap of white paper. I did here somewhere. Where's my scraps of paper? Here they are. Here's all my scraps. So this scrap of paper, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this little heart right here because I want a blue one for my card like this. Instead of this pink here, I'm gonna use the blue. So I'm gonna just stamp that really quick. I'm gonna use my foam mat just to give it some cushion because we're using photopolymer stamps. And I'm going to use some balmy blue ink. There we go. And this heart is really two hearts together there. Now you could take your paper snips and trim those apart, but I figure what the heck, I'm going to throw the other one just in the case if I happen to need a heart later, and that way I can use the little heart on my card today and I'll just have a big heart. I do have a big heart, but anyway, I'll have a big heart for another project another time. And these line up perfect with the punch. Maybe if you're not trying to talk and do two things at once. There we go. We'll line those up. And now I have a little blue heart. And look how nice those stamp and look so much like the Designer Series paper. It's not even funny. Okay, speaking of Designer Series paper, let's cut some paper down now. Get my paper trimmer. I'm going to cut the Designer Series paper down to 5 inches by 3 3/4, and then that way it'll layer nicely onto this background piece of balmy blue. So first thing I want to do is cut it at 5. Nope, I lied. The first thing I want to do is cut it at 3 3/4, and that's because I want to keep this piece as big as I can. We're going to decorate our envelope with that. So I'm going to cut that at 3 3/4 and then down to 5. Now this piece here, I don't have a plan for it, but who knows, later I just might. So we have that. Ooh, and then while I have my trimmer out, where did that scrap of white go? I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 1 centimeter. I have discovered that it's easier to cut at 1 centimeter than it is to try to figure out like 3/8 or whatever it is. And then I'm going to cut this down to 2 3/4. So that's going to be just our little tag on the front too. Now, if I ever say something and you think, no, Kathy, those measurements aren't quite, I think you're a little confused, you're probably right. And you can go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and all my measurements are on there and correct. Because sometimes my brain goes faster than my mouth and my hands, and so I say the wrong words here. So you can, like I said, be sure and check my blog. The link will be below in the description, and you can go there and find a list of supplies that I've used, a link to get to my online store, and all the measurements. Okay, so this piece here that we cut from the Designer Series paper, like I said, I'm going to just decorate the back of my envelope. So a little bit of adhesive here and around. I'm not going to skimp on this because it's going to go through the mail. Excuse me. And I want to make sure it's stuck on there good. So I'm going to just barely put it down, make sure it looks good this way too. There we go. And then put some pressure on there and make sure it's nice and adhered. And then we'll just cut that excess off. And then we have a really pretty envelope. And no waste. We won't waste that one little piece of Designer Series paper unless I find another project to use it on, which you never know. I'll throw it back in the package and I'll have it for later. Okay, so there's my envelope. Ooh, I could have used the blue side too. Should have looked at that. Oh well. There we go. So let's go ahead and take, this is that balmy blue that we're going to layer this on top of. I know that this is 5 1/4 by 4 because this is 3 3/4 by 5. Measurements. And like I said, I'm going to just go ahead and adhere this piece down to here. Now we almost have all of our pieces and parts cut, but real quick, I'm going to take, have you seen these? These have been out for a while. These were on the pre-order. These are the framed floret dies. They're hard to see because I just have them thrown in my container here, but they have a coordinating stamp set. Let's see this one here. Oops, I threw my paper on the floor. The framed floret stamp set, look how pretty that is. So you could buy those as a bundle and save. But today I just want to take this circle here and cut out those hearts on my layer of paper here. I also took this piece earlier, another part of that die, and I cut out a circle that looks like that. And if you can see, it's got all that little intricate trimming, cutting on there too, so it's a really pretty frame to go on our card. Okay, so let's move stuff around, make room for the die cut machine, bring in what most of us call the big boss, like this. Open them up. Bring the plates. Whoops, sorry about the noise. We're going to use number 1 platform, number 2 plate adapter, my really chewed up cutting pad for the bottom. Lay our paper down. I might get my head in the camera here. I want to make sure that my oval is not only straight, but not cattywampus. Can you see that? There we go. So it looks pretty good, I think, there. And then I just have another plate that I use for the top. Lay that on top and run that through. Now, I'm going to go this way and then back through, just because we're going through 2 layers of cardstock. I don't think I would have to, but might as well, since we're doing the job, might as well do it right. Okay, then we have that pretty heart frame here. Let's take a pick tool here, and I'm going to poke, wrong way, pulled the whole thing out. There we go, and just poke out those little hearts there. Now, you could keep those little hearts. I think they'd look really cute in a shaker card. All these little hearts here that we've cut out. Look how cute they all are right there. But I'm going to just go ahead and throw them in the trash just for time's sake. Get all this out of the way. Put my die back in my case. And now we have that really cute little frame right there. Then with just a piece, this is just your thick basic white cardstock cut in half, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4 for a nice card base there. Okay, let's do some stamping on our card base and on that little scrap of paper, or that little strip of paper that we cut. And I'm going to start with some basic gray. Now, I'll be honest with you, the first time I made the card or tried to design the card, I used black, and I thought it was too dark. So I think the basic gray is just a little bit more subtle and has kind of a softer tone, since we're using the soft subtles cardstock, the blue and the peach, and it just needs to be a little bit more subtle, I thought. So out of this stamp set here, I'm going to use these words that say, just wanted to say. I'm going to ink it up good. I'm going to practice once. Let's see if I can find a piece of scratch paper here. Oh, this one looks pretty good. And I'm going to just stamp it once. That looks pretty good. And now I'll stamp it onto my piece. I'm going to look through that stamps. Now, I'm not going to apply a lot of pressure. I made sure that my ink pad has lots of ink on it, so it doesn't take too much pressure to get a nice image onto your paper. And I'm going to just set it down, hold it firm, but not smash the stamp so it gets a nice crisp image. Let's see how I did. Yeah, look how cute that looks there. Then on the inside of our card here, I'm going to stamp the words that say, I love that we are friends. Same in that gray. Make sure my stamp's not upside down. Let's practice one time again, just to make sure it's nice and evenly inked up. I can't help it, I gotta practice once so I mess up on that paper and not on my pretty card base here. And I'm gonna stamp that about there. Now, with part of the designer series paper, in fact, this flower here is Sweet Sorbet. And if you can ever find, if you're looking for the list of colors, you can always look on the back of the cardboard that's part of the packaging of designer series paper, and that's where that those lists of colors are. But I'm going to take another little image from the stamp set, and I'm going to just stamp a couple little hearts right here. Look how cute that is. Love these little hearts. And put another one. Look, I didn't practice. Maybe I'm getting more comfortable. I don't know, hope it turns out okay. And it does. And look how pretty the inside of our card is now too. Okay, I think we're done stamping. Let's go ahead and assemble our card. I'm going to let this dry for just a second there and work on this piece. And bring in some dimensionals. I have the standard and the mini, because on the back of the big heart, I'm going to put some standard dimensionals. Just a couple there, and I'm going to just set this about where I want it, and then with those two leaves, I'm going to put some mini dimensionals on there, because I don't want to see them from the front, and I think the minis hide it a little bit better. There we go, and I'm going to just kind of lay those like that. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the little frame down. We need to put the frame down first. So just with some liquid glue. Whoop, that one's brand new. Let's get one that's not quite so new. And a little tiny bit of liquid glue goes a long way. I don't want it to ooze out and get sticky all over my card, because as much as I love Tombow liquid glue, that's this green glue here, it does not dry. It dries sticky like a Post-it note, so you want to make sure that it's not where you don't want it, if that makes any sense. But I'm going to turn my card here and put that in the center of that oval. There we go. That looks better already. Okay, now let's put our heart back in there and our leaves back in there. And then did I lose? Nope, here it is. And my little, just for placement. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down now. Set that about there. And the leaf I'm going to put just a little bit below the heart here, so it has a little bit of room down there. And you know what? I think I only took one dimensional back off that one. But, oh well, dimensional back's only going to help it stay sturdy. It's still, nope, I'm going to have to get the back off there. It's not as sturdy as I want it. There we go. Now I got them both. Let's put some dimensionals on the back of this. And believe it or not, the standard dimensionals fit right perfect on there. Just make sure you get this flat side to the flat side. I'm going to put 3 on there to make sure it's nice and sturdy and straight. And place our greeting on there. As straight as I can. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see. Nope. That doesn't look good at all. We're going to move it over. Now I tore my paper, but just a hair that way. There, I think that looks better. I don't know, maybe it looked better the first time. Let's just go on. I'm going to take on the back here, and I'm going to put actually 6 dimensionals, 1 in each corner and 2 on the tummy here, or what I call the center, the tummy of the card, so that it's nice and firm. No one wants a saggy tummy. And just like that, we're going to take that and lay it right here on the front, and look how cute. Now we just need a little extra blue heart here. I'm going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on the side that's going to be, so this side. Again, a little bit goes a long way. Kind of just layer it right there. And there we go. Now, last but not least, it needs a little bit of bling on there. So I'm going to take these, and this is just kind of what I have left of a package. I use these for class. What are these called? The iridescent rhinestones, basic jewels. Love the way these look. And I'm going to just take one little one right here and put it, maybe I am, there we go, on this heart, or the bump of my heart right there. I think I have a, and there we go. So there's my card with the matching envelope, which I think looks really pretty, like there, for my stamp club. So let me bring my other sample in again, or the first one I made. Now on this one, you'll notice I put 3 of those little blings on there. Look how pretty those are. And then, like I said, it's part of my stamp club. If I can find those cards, yeah, I'll bring those back in. That look like this. If you're interested in Stamp Club, be sure and let me know. We're starting a new session now that it's January and a brand new year. Alrighty, there you go. In fact, I'll have, if you're on YouTube, I'll make sure that the Stamp Club supply video is the next one up, and you can see that one. Alrighty, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the card. If you need a catalog, be sure and let me know. Again, if you need the measurements and such, you can go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.